Early in the 19th century, the town officer of Kirriemuir was Tam Barnett. He was a short, squat man with a broad face, tanned by being outdoors so much. He wore a uniform of a blue bonnet, blue cloth jacket and vest, a harn apron, and velveteen breeks that reached just below his knees. He never wore any stockings or shoes, regardless of the season, trudging through the town with the jail keys forever in his hands. Not only was he the local police officer, he was also the town's bellman, prison governor, and judge and jury on those who broke the law. He would ring his bell or beat his drum to bring the locals the latest news. To fulfil the role, the bellman had to have a good strong loud voice, which Tam had, but they also had to be able to read and write. Tam could do neither. He had to have the news or the notice recited to him several times so he could commit it to memory. This he did without making many mistakes, very often. Sometimes, if he was being taunted by local lads, he would lose his thread, although never forgot the text in its entirety. Once, when he was crying about a roup of household furniture, it was noticed that he was drunk, as he was staggering and slurring his words. Forgetting what articles were for sale, he ended up crying, "Notice, a roup of household furniture consisting of tables, chairs, pokers and tangs, and a lot of other things. I canna mind the name o', but you'll see when you come." Tam continued to beat his drum unmercifully, but the boys would still tease him until he lost his temper and chased them. Tam's drum came into its own when any robberies occurred. When information reached him, instead of having a quiet word and making low-key inquiries, he would beat his drum loudly, shouting the message to all and sundry throughout the borough. He would warn the thieves he knew who they were, and would capture them at any point. This was in hope they would return the stolen goods. It proved useful, as on a number of occasions, the goods were indeed returned, although the thieves remained unpunished. At the time, travelling folk would turn up in the borough, much to the annoyance of the locals. It's said fights often broke out, but Tam would intervene, telling them to leave, or even taking on the biggest man amongst them to fight. When he won the fight, which he generally did, he would throw them in jail, sometimes large numbers of them, where they would spend the night. The following morning, he would tell them to leave town. Showmen too arrived in Kirriemuir, but Tam got on well with them when they played in the town hall. He would be paid by them to keep an eye on things in the hall, and often did odd jobs for them, paid in both money and whisky. On one occasion, the show lacked either talent or musicians, and Tam was enlisted along with the town's piper, Rabbie Dixon. After being bought a dram or two, the two stood on the steps of the hall and began playing, hoping to draw in the crowds. However, they didn't manage to do that. The manager called for the townsfolk to pay their penny to see the event, but no one came. The showmen were bitterly disappointed as they needed the money to pay for their supper and lodgings for the night. It suddenly dawned on Tam and Rabbie they might not be paid. After a short consultation, the two men devised a plan. Either they would have to be paid up front, or have a guarantee they would be paid after. With Rabbie at his back, Tam marched into the hall to speak to the manager. A few minutes later, Rabbie was thrown headfirst down the steps, his pipes wailing as he fell. He gathered them up and ran home, calling the showmen wild men. Tam, on the other hand, didn't give in. He fought back, sending his antagonists sprawling on the floor. A wild uproar ensued, Tam now being battered and beaten by the showmen. But as luck would have it, special constables appeared and the whole company was arrested and thrown into jail. The next morning, Tam released the poor players on promise they would leave town immediately and never return. Tam was well liked in the town and got on very well with the children. They, in turn, saw him as their friend. If there was a public function going on, such as an equestrian performance, a free gardener's procession or a hill market, and the local dominies wouldn't let the children leave the classroom to go and participate, he would take matters into his own hands. He waited on the schoolmasters and tormented them until they gave in and the children got the day off school. Whenever he appeared at the school, delight ensued when the children realised he would manage to wangle a day off for them. At one of the hill markets, Tam was asked to announce by drum amongst the tents that anyone trespassing in the woods or den of Logie would be prosecuted to the utmost vigour of the law. Some boys gathered round and vented their frustration at him that he was violating one of their rights. He told them not to worry. He was saying it because he'd been paid to. In later life, Tam's love of whisky got the better of him, and he began neglecting his duties. He became argumentative and was found brawling on numerous occasions, so much so the people of Kirriemuir were disgusted by his conduct. He was often complained to about his behaviour and promised to be better, but more often than not, he broke this promise. As the years went by, it was clear he wasn't going to change his ways, and he was stripped of his jobs in the town. Now not working, he had no money and sunk into poverty. He tried to earn money at the Pern Wheel, a poorly paid position, and died in obscurity in a hovel. If you enjoyed this episode of Scotland's History, please like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, thank you for watching.